Let's go to Jane. Good evening, Jane.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm on top of the world, Jane. I'm glad to be working after having 2 nights off because of Brexit.
Oh, well, that's why I was ringing.
Oh.
I'm not sure if I've got the right show, to be fair.
Okay, well, you've got the right show. You got the best show. You got the only show in town.
So, but anyhow, it was only just to say, really, that today I voted to leave, basically, in 2016 in the election.
Yes.
And I know it's a very sensitive subject.
Very sensitive.
But,
yes.
I saw Boris Johnson today, and I've been watching the BBC News.
He's a bellend, isn't he?
Yeah, but the thing is, I think he's getting hammered from every angle, to be fair.
Good.
I mean, people are asking him questions, and he's answering the question 5 times, and they're still asking him
He's not, though,
question.
is he? He's not answering the questions.
Well, I think he is.
He's avoiding all of the questions. Did you see that brilliant MP for Slough, place I grew up in, picking him up on his awful racist language?
But you see, I don't think he's racist. I mean, you're
a white middle-aged woman. Sure, he wasn't.
But I'm not racist, and I don't think he is either.
I didn't say you. I didn't say you.
Silly.
Jane, I didn't say you were. Jane, I didn't say you were racist.
Things that he says.
Yes, I didn't say you were racist. Why would you assume? Why you've gone to the defence against your own racism?
This is how I believe that this generation is going. You can't say anything about anybody.
What would you like to say that you think you can't say?
Well, I feel that you've just said to me that you thought I was racist.
Didn't say that.
Thought I was racist.
Didn't say that at all. Here's the problem with people. Here's the problem with people. They don't listen.
What I was saying.
They don't listen.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well,
so
you don't. You're the person that's not listening. What would you like to say about people of other races that you feel you're not allowed to say? Because trust me, you're allowed to say it.
Well, I don't have. I have friends that are Sikh, Hindu, Muslim people. Very, very close friends of mine and my family, and we don't have an issue with that.
Well, what would you like to... You just said that there's stuff you'd like to say that you're not allowed to say.
No, what I was saying was that Boris Johnson is not racist.
How do you know that? He uses racist language.
I know he isn't.
Well, come on now, Jane. He uses racist...
Trying.
I'm going to give you the evidence. Jane, can you do conversation or...
We voted to leave.
Jane,
17.4 million people voted to leave.
Can you do conversation? Yeah, okay. Well, can you do conversation?
Well, can you?
Yes, I can. It's my job. Can you do it?
I can. Go on. I'll let you finish.
Okay. Thank you. And maybe you'll respond. I've given you evidence that Boris Johnson is a racist, or certainly uses racist language. What evidence have you got that he isn't a racist?
What evidence have you got that he is?
I
do not believe that he is whatsoever.
Pickaninnies.
I think he is trying his very best.
Pickaninnies.
To honour the referendum.
Pickaninnies.
That 17.4 million people voted to leave this country.
Pickaninnies.
Out the EU.
Pickaninnies.
I'm sorry, I'm not listening to that because you're not listening to my...
No, I'm listening. No, you're going off on a tangent. 17.4 million people voted to leave Europe. I've got that, but that's not what we're talking about.
No, but you're talking about something that I just... You see, this is...
This is it. You're not having a conversation. You've asked me for the evidence that he's racist. No, I am. You've asked me for evidence that he's racist. I've given it to you, and you're completely ignoring it.
He's a totally decent guy.
Jane.
And I truly believe that he's trying his best for our country.
Dear God, you're thick. Jane, listen, please.
You're calling me thick?
Yes, because you're thick. Jane, listen, I'm
thick.
I'm glad we agree about something.
That's a dreadful thing to say about somebody, really, isn't it?
I'm glad we agree about something.
I'm a highly educated person, actually.
I don't believe that for a second. You certainly didn't learn manners.
I do, because you're calling me thick.
Correct. Now, can you address... I've given you evidence that he's used racist language, and
you're thick. Because you're only reading one side of the story.
I'm reading an article that he wrote where I'm reading...
You're not an open-minded person whatsoever.
Oh, I'm more open-minded than you could ever think.
No, you're not.
I love ladies' parts and I love men's parts. That's quite open-minded. What I'm reading is I'm reading an article that he wrote where he used the term pickaninnies.
Everybody's choice.
Sorry?
Can't fault you for that.
Okay. Is there a delay on this? Because it's like that the Two Ronnie sketch where you're answering the question before. I'm reading an article that Boris Johnson wrote where he used the derogatory term pickaninnies. That's my evidence that he's used racist language. An article
What about the good things that he's done?
Well, no. That's.
Are you only picking on?
We're talking.
Things? What about the other politicians in this country?
What about one person? Yeah, because we're talking about one person, Jane. It's not. Well, we are. We're talking about
going to an election.
No, we're talking about.
Where it could
Jesus,
be anybody's day now.
Jane, we're talking about Boris Johnson.
No,
do you not?
So you're singling him out.
What do you think?
You are a bully.
We're talking about Boris Johnson.
But you are a bully.
I'm a bully because we're talking. What did you think?
You are a bully.
Great. Okay.
You are a total bully.
Yep. Okay.
And you are not.
And you're going to put the phone down, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Fine. What we were talking.
You are an absolute. You are totally not listening to anybody else's view.
I'm listening. We were talking about Boris Johnson.
So why shout? Why bawl?
Because
so
you're not responding. This woman
Johnson.
Have you been sniffing glue or something?
Boris Johnson is a very decent person. He's a gentleman.
Jesus Christ.
He's a scholar. He's a very educated man.
This is a spoof. He's a gentleman and a scholar. Yes.
So what are you going to say now?
I'm going to go back to the point where you denied.
You're going to be derogative about him, aren't you?
No, I'm not going to be derogative. I'll be derogatory.
You are?
I'm not going to be derogative because I don't think it's my derogative. We were talking about whether he'd used racist language or not.
I don't believe he did.
So you don't think pickaninny is you don't think that's
I don't.
Can I finish the question?
I don't understand the term, and I've never even used it in my life.
So you don't.
So why would I even think it was derogative?
Because
you're just picking on something.
Yes.
Just to bring the man down, aren't you?
No. I'm picking on it. I'm going to educate you now.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. Well, I won't because you've got closed ears.
No, my ears are very open.
Well, then, shall I tell you?
Both sides, to be fair.
Well, it's not though, is it?
Like you.
Because you're saying you don't know what pickaninny means, but you're not open to the idea it might be. Yes, I do. Yeah.
Well, what does it mean then?
Well, do you really want to know?
Well, yes, I would.
Okay, are you sure? Are you sure
that you're?
Are you sure that you're going to listen?
Oh yes, I would absolutely love to know because you seem to know what it means.
Well, I do know what it means. Yes. It's a derogatory term for black people. It often refers to slaves.
Well, that's totally unruly, isn't it?
It's unruly.
That's not acceptable.
So
whatsoever.
if I was to use the word pickaninny, which is a derogatory term for black people.
Hang on a minute,
Jane.
So you're now trying to infuse a situation that wasn't even there.
Let's just play a little mind game, okay? If I were to refer to my listeners of colour as pickaninnies,
well, everybody's unequal.
Okay,
there is no,
literally no idea what you're talking about now. You're just rambling like a madwoman.
So there is no. I beg your pardon?
I said you're just rambling like a madwoman.
No, there is no divide in this country. Everybody's accepted in this country.
Okay, well, can I just... Jane,
love
Jesus
every minority,
Christ.
majority,
I don't care.
Whatever.
Jane,
So what's your point?
If you let me speak and if you actually respond to
the
words...
You're trying to cause an argument when there isn't one.
Okay, I'm just trying to point out exactly how dumb you are, if you'll let me. If I were to
carry on.
If I were to refer to my listeners of colour as pickaninnies, which is
you call me dumb.
If I were to refer...
You called me dumb.
Are you listening on the radio? Because there's a delay going on here.
No, I'm listening to you.
Okay. If I were to refer to my listeners of colour as pickaninnies, which is a derogatory term for black people and often was used to describe slaves, would you consider that as racist?
In a certain context.
Okay.
But so, you know something? That is totally unacceptable in this country.
It's unacceptable, isn't it?
What are you on about?
Well, the point is Boris Johnson wrote an article where he referred to people as pickaninnies.
Well, I don't believe that he means that. I really don't.
Okay, well, what do you think? What do you think he meant? What do you think he meant?
I don't know.
No, but you
I'm
don't.
Not Boris Johnson,
But here's the thing.
I don't believe that he meant any
Here's the thing.
derogative mark.
There's no such word as derogative.
What about all the Jewish people that have been anti-Semitised through the Labour Party?
I think it's awful. I think there's a real problem of anti-Semitisation in the Labour Party.
You need to bring that up then, don't you?
Well, no, because
what I'm saying is...
Jesus Christ, this woman is thick. Jane, we were talking
You're
about...
calling me thick?
For the fourth time, yeah. We were talking about Boris Johnson.
But you are very abusive, aren't you?
I don't like racists and I don't like people who defend...
I'm very far from thick.
I don't like...
And you think... Are you calling me a racist? That's one thing I'm not.
Well, if you let me finish the sentence, because you know Muslim people...
You be very careful what you're saying.
Okay, that's it. Ooh. If I don't like racists and I don't like people...
Well, don't speak to me like I am one, because I am not.
If you let me finish the sentence, Jane, we might get there in a bit. Do you drive? I don't like racists and I don't like people who defend racists, which is what you're doing.
Like, then?
Sorry?
I'm not defending a racist.
You're defending Boris Johnson.
I'm defending my Prime Minister.
Well, here's the thing.
Minister of our country.
I don't look up with complete deference to people in power.
Well, that's your opinion.
It is. I question them. And I question their racism.
Well, I question it as well. But you know something? I don't believe he is such a bad person that he's been painted out to be. And I think he needs to be given a choice, given a chance, and at least be able to get the referendum out of the way and go for what the country voted for, and let everybody stop this nonsense and let us all unite together as a country. That's what we need.
I would never unite with you, Jane.
Well, I wouldn't unite with you after calling me thick and gormless and everything else.
Didn't use the word gormless, but that's a good one. That's a good one. I'm going to add that to the list.
You?
Very.
You called me thick, uneducated.
Yep.
Really?
Actually, you're right.
Well, you are. I think you're one-sided.
Au contraire.
You are not listening to an argument.
You haven't given one.
Well, there is an argument because
you haven't given one.
We need to get out of this country.
You get out of the country, Jane, if you want. I'm staying in the country. I live here. My house is here.
Really? But you don't want to vote for what's right for it,
I'm staying. You want to get out of the country, do you?
Well, you don't want to write. We want to get out of the EU.
Well, you just said you want to get out of the country.
17.4 million people.
You want to get out of... You just said you want to get out of the country. Make your mind up.
We want to leave the EU.
But you want to leave the country as well.
Well, we want to leave the EU.
You said you wanted to leave the country.
Are you for real?
No, you literally just said...
Are you really
30 seconds ago that you wanted to leave the country.
You are actually not normal.
No, I'm not.
Because you are not listening.
I'm listening better than you're speaking. I'm listening better than you're speaking.
You are not. You are not listening. No, you can laugh all you like.
I will laugh. I've had better arguments about Europe with my. I've had.
You are so stupid.
Yep. Okay.
You are so stupid because you don't listen to what the people are saying.
I'm listening to you. I'm trying to listen to you.
But you haven't, though.
Well, I have.
All you've done is just abuse me.
You've just said you wanted to leave the country.
We want to leave the EU, don't we?
I don't know, because you a minute ago...
Well, that's what majority of people want to do, isn't it?
You just said you wanted to...
Is it not?
You just said you wanted to leave the country.
You know what I mean.
No.
We want to leave the EU, and I've said that on several times to you through this conversation.
But you also said you wanted to leave the country, Jane.
Well, shouldn't you, really?
I don't want to leave the country. My house is here. My house is here.
What's your opinion on it, then?
On what?
Would you like to remain, or would you like to leave?
In the country. I would like to remain in the country, if that's okay.
Oh, is that what you voted for?
I voted... Every time I vote, it's to remain in the country. Every time...
EU, or did you
every time I vote to remain in the country.
So, did you vote to leave the EU or to remain...
Well, now, here's the thing, Jane. Because
what did you vote? What's your vote?
I will tell you, but here's the thing. It's more nuanced than the answer I'm going to give you. I don't know if you know what the word nuanced means.
Go on, yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what nuanced means?
Oh, go on, you'll tell me.
Well, no, I'm hoping you know.
Well, go on then.
Okay. I'm going to give you the answer to your question,
Yeah, did you vote
No, I know.
to leave or
Yes.
remain?
I'm going to
One answer. Did you vote for a deal or without a deal? What did you vote for?
We didn't get to
on the
vote.
ballot paper. What did you vote for? Answer the question.
Oh, got to listen to you, Jerry Paxman.
Answer the question. Did you vote leave or remain?
Yes.
With a deal, without a deal.
We weren't asked. We weren't asked.
anything?
Well, Jane,
What
I
did
don't
you
know.
do?
I don't know what.
So did you vote? It was a one thing.
Yeah, but you've just given 4 options.
Question.
You've given 4 things.
It was a one. You know what the question was. When
I
David
do, but I
Cameron
don't think
asked
you
it.
do. What was
You know what the question was. So what did you do?
Why don't you tell me what the question
Did you
was?
vote to remain?
Why don't you?
I suppose you voted to remain. Are you Ramona?
I don't know what that
Are
means.
you quiet?
I'm 46 years old. I don't.
Really?
Me don't speak your language.
Really?
Yeah.
What, at 76? You don't speak my language?
You're 76, are you, Jane?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I apologise for being so rude to you then.
Well, I wouldn't be if I was you.
No.
You've been rude all night. So, did you vote to remain or did you vote to leave?
My
with
vote.
a deal or without a deal? What did you do?
We
did you
weren't.
vote to
Jesus.
remain with a deal or did you vote to leave without a deal?
Have you got grandkids?
That wasn't on the question paper, was it?
You're answering your own. You're having your own conversation now. Have you got grandkids?
Oh, I've got lots of grandchildren.
I'm so sorry
yeah.
for them.
Oh, really? I'm very happy for them because you know something. If we get out of this mess, eventually, we will eventually learn to live as a lovely country, be united, move forward, be able to have deals with other countries and not be tied into this mess that we are in today. I was in the common market when it went into the common market.
Oh, so it's your fault.
Oh, so it was my fault. Yeah, I was the only one that voted.
So you
I?
voted. So it's your fault.
Did you vote to leave or remain? Answer the question.
Why? Why should I answer?
Because you need to.
No, I don't.
Because you questioned me.
No.
Answer the question.
Don't need to answer anything.
Yes, you do.
I
Did
voted.
You vote
I
to
voted
leave
to
or remain.
Well, here's the thing, Jane.
You're Ramona, aren't you?
No, I'm not, because I don't know what that means. Because I'm a grown man. I don't throw around childish.
You're Ramona.
Okay.
You didn't want to leave the EU, did you?
This is Talk Radio.